So I'm finally done with my transom project on this old rowboat, and you can see it looks amazing now, or close to it. I mean, it's not as flat and polished, but I don't really care that much. The important thing is that it lasts another 20-30 years, which it will for sure. So in the last video I had shown you that I put the piece there and I had to seal it. My option was, if your skin is in good shape, you can just glue that back on with some resin, but as you see, this one, it was in very bad shape. But nevertheless, I used this to put it on top of the fiberglass cloth and drew the shape and cut it, and I used that those pieces to go and build up the layers. So in total I put 5 or 6 layers, and that went well, but it has its challenges. So make sure you do it at below 25 degrees, so around 20 degrees Celsius. When it's not sunny, it works very well. Otherwise your resin starts hardening right away, curing, and it's difficult. And also, don't make too much at a time. So what I was doing is I was using the cover of this. By the way, for this particular project I went through a complete can, so make sure to go get a 3.5 liter one or a gallon one. You know, this is about $100, and you're gonna need this much. The small ones, the 350s or whatever, is not enough. You need this. So I was using the cover to make the resin, which I was then using a spatula to spread it. Forget a brush, it's too slow. I would take with this and spread it everywhere. And once it was spread everywhere, always wear gloves, I would take the cloth, stick it, and with my gloves I would just rub it, soak it, and then after that I would make my second batch of resin, and with the hardener mix it well, and then apply on top of the fiberglass cloth and make sure it's really well soaked, and you would see that there's no bubbles or anything left. And then I repeated that. Once it's cured, repeated it another 5 times until the whole space was filled up. And finally I also made sure that it was like gradual and flat. So I used extra at the end, extra resin, just to fill up any leftover gaps, just to fill it up. And another trick is, if you don't have there's the other Bondo which I used in previous videos, which you can really use to make flat areas. If you don't have that and you just want to fill in a few cracks, what I was doing is I was taking a fiberglass cloth and I was just cutting it into tiny pieces like this here, and I would make I would use the resin without the hardener first. I would mix in a bit of fiberglass fibers, and then I would put the hardener and you know, mix it well again, and that I would apply on areas where the cloth wouldn't reach, or if there was a bit of missing, you know. That works super well, because then it doesn't become runny. The fiberglass fibers hold everything in place. And I also use that to cover up the holes, like this hole here, and then the screw holes, these holes here. I didn't want any more holes there. My piece there is super well covered. So once that was done, I painted everything with a boat paint. I put about 3 layers. Then I started adding back my hardware. Make sure when you add your hardware and you're putting screws to buy stainless steel screws. And I was just doing a small hole with a drill, and then before putting the screws, I was wetting each screws with resin. So make sure to do that to protect your wood, not to prevent any rot. And also I would put a little bit of silicone before tightening it. So see if every one of them has silicone. And this here is downwards, so the water is not gonna go there. Over this side, because it was flush this way, I put marine silicone all around here. I added this piece of galvanized sheet which I inserted underneath, so that when the motor is pushing and clamped onto the transom, it doesn't damage my fiberglass. Because if you look on this boat, they didn't put it and it was starting to crack. So that this small dinghy I have, I fixed it. But I'm gonna also add a piece of metal sheet there. And I did the same thing with the inside. I added a little sheet metal here. This one is a piece of aluminum. By the way, you can screw these, but I decided not to. I just put some marine silicone and I just glued it. Same thing over here. Of course, this top part is holding a bit, but mostly it's the silicone holding it. It's just, I wanted to minimize the amount of holes I would do into the plywood. So that was a personal decision. And then I added back my handles. So now everything is nice and strong. So this boat is ready to go into the water and start its fishing time. I also, I don't know, I might have mentioned, but there was a seat missing here. So I cut a piece of plywood and I painted 2 layers here, marine paint again. So that's ready as well. Unfortunately, right after painting, a bird decided to you know, make a little improvement. So there's a souvenir there. And I also finally saw a few, you know, cracks and holes, nothing major. I used that technique of some fiberglass fibers with the resin mixed to close up those. This year I'm not gonna paint it, but maybe next year I might apply a fresh layer of paint. But everything else is fine. This boat is now ready to be backed up and sent into the water. And then I'll maybe make a video with that. Hopefully these few videos I uploaded helps you with your small project. Good luck, have fun.